How we doing there, boys and girls? Good morning, good morning. Is the microphone going to work properly today? That is the question. There is a new microphone in the post. It's not long now. How are we all doing, boys and girls? Good morning, and welcome. Hope we're well. Reset day is upon us. It means it's time to smash out that Shaping Fate for some free renown, some free gold, some goodies. That weekly chest. Really need to get my ass into gear and actually work my way towards rank 5 and 6 with the Archivist's Codex. Because, yeah, slacking at the moment. Slacking. But today, hopefully, we know, traditionally at least, Wednesday is the day for sales. I've been a little proactive this morning. I've already been up and I've got my auctions listed. I've got things reposted. Hope to get T6 with Codex today. It's a big day. It's a big day. T6 with Codex is, well, for one, I imagine it's a bit of a weight off your mind, having it, you know, just done. I don't think the grind stops directly when you hit tier 6, since that then unlocks a whole bunch of reasons for you to spend a whole bunch of your Codex points or catalogued research. That's the one. God, my brain. I will be there eventually. Eventually. I have way too many alts nowadays. This is the problem. I spread myself way too thin, I think. That's the problem. If I was still comfortable playing the game 15 hours a day, it would probably be fine. But my desire to play the game for countless numbers of hours at the moment isn't as high as what it often has been. So I think I'm spreading myself a little thin. Wow. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this was definitely the same guy, wasn't it? This was definitely the same guy. A rank 5 Bone Shatter Gauntlets and a rank 6 Bone Shatter Gauntlets. Ironically, for almost exactly the same price. Oh, odds on that being the same fella? Let's investigate. The 249 Bone Shatter Gauntlets. Zaza. And then Zaza again. Oh dear. Did he buy the 210? No. Why are Bone Shatter Gauntlets popping off today? Alright, sure. Oh well. Somebody's made a boo-boo again. Somebody's... Still. How many months are we into Shadowlands? Still, people are not aware of the fact that you do not have to progressively rank your legendaries. You can skip ranks if you wish. But hey, one person's loss is Manthias's gain, right? What are you going to do? Right, let's get the mission table ticked off. Let's get ourselves over to Corthia. I'm trying to be a little bit more organised with how I play this game, because like I said, I'm spreading myself a little bit too thin. Instead of spending 8 to 12 hours a day playing this game at the moment, I'm spending, you know, I usually will stream this game in the morning and then play for another couple of hours, maybe later on in the day. But that tends to be the extent of my playtime at the moment. Now, when I have the NA series, when I have multiple alts, while I have multiple characters that I want to progress on multiple different realms, while I have recrafting legendaries, while I have farming rep in Corthia, while I have achievements to finish collecting before 9.1.5, when I have the PTR to be investigating and researching, I'm spreading myself way too thin, and I'm starting to feel as if I'm not really actually achieving anything. All of that before I even consider doing content for YouTube. So I've got to be a little bit careful, I think, and I think I need to streamline a little bit more so to what we focus on. As it's not good for me because I don't feel as if I'm getting anywhere, and it's probably not good for you guys as viewers in terms of it's just, you know, a little bit too much all over the place. I should go back to specialising on stuff, do stuff that I'm good at. But we'll have to see. Maybe he wants different Legos on them. Hey, don't be giving stupid people a get out of jail free card. Let stupid people be stupid and let them be proud of it. But yeah, maybe. Who knows? Right. Let's get the mission table done. Let's go over to Quota. Let's get Shaping Fate. We have a whole bunch of new weekly stuff we can do. Bonus XP missions. Nada. And one thing that's very high on my list, actually, is getting the anima on my main character to cap out my Sanctum, actually. I need to be cautious of that. Probably cautious enough to stop spending stupid amounts of gold, anima, on my mission table. Because I really don't need to. Let's give some XP to him. Let's open the boxes. My inventory is stacked to the hills again because I keep opening all of these boxes from the mission tables and end up with fish and meat all over the place. You specialise on doing the beta and there is no beta. Well, yeah, kinda. Kinda. That only comes around once every, in theory, once every 2 years. We're not going to have a beta for a long time yet. And hey, I need to get myself on Blizzard's radar before the next beta. Otherwise, can you imagine? Can you imagine if I don't get beta access to the next expansion? That would be a bad day in the office, I can tell you that much. Right, 20 redeemed souls. Let's get Shaping Fate. Does this mean we have Renown, 68 now is the achievable? What are we getting our hands on this week? We have a Soulbind upgrade. We have Wisps of Memory, which, if I remember right, is 75,000 experience. Which I'm actually very... Now, these are somewhat designed so that you in theory should put them on the new companions that you gain to, you know, bring them up to speed. I'm very tempted to dump these into my Soulbinds so that they're... I mean, 75,000 experience is probably still a couple of levels at level 50 plus. What he also get is just another Soulbind upgrade. Alright, cool, sure. Blizzard goes, let's give this streamer with 28 viewers a beta. Well, this is the problem, right? Until I get at least on Blizzard's radar. I mean, I don't give a damn about the viewer numbers on the stream, and I don't think Blizzard would do either. It's the
You just lost $5.
Oh!
Captain underscore Brown Eye.
There we go, Captain Brown Eye with the Prime Gaming. Thank you, appreciate it. Highly appreciate it. Got my A-team all to 60 today. See, that's good. Once you... my goal is to get the followers to 50 plus. Once you get past level 49, you're kind of technically on the home stretch there. At 49 plus, they're pretty much good enough to basically solo almost every mission, especially if you're Night Fae. But to be honest, we're caught with the multiple accounts and never cancel the sub. Yeah, true. In regards of being on Blizzard's radar, it's probably they'd probably look at my YouTube presence and performance more so than anything else. For me to get on the list of, you know, the priority list, which there absolutely definitely is. They'll absolutely never tell anybody that there is a priority list. But guess what? When your Asmongols of the world get their beta invite like first, you start to understand that there is actually a priority list. But that's a long time down the road. Long time away. Long time away. So we get 68 this week, which means we get 70 next week, which means it's still a couple of weeks away before we get 71. The reason Renown 71 is of interest to me is because it's the last companion. By that point, you'll have access to all 22 companions. And it's also by the time that we unlock 71, this will probably be the point where I try and like quickly level up the renown on my alts. I genuinely cannot be that bothered grinding the 2 renown out every week on all of my alts, even though I probably should do. It's good anima, you know, it's good reputation, it's probably all good, but once we hit renown 71, that's the point where I'll actually push my alts up to this point, and then they probably won't go much further. That last 10 maybe will chip away at it passively, but I'm not too fussed, not too fussed. Do a YouTube with hat, you said, at the end of the beta. And what we get... No, in 9.1. I have no... Words... Words are failing you today, Alec. Either way. Wow, Stash, how we doing? Welcome, welcome. Good to see ya. Oh, it's not that I don't have plenty of ideas for the YouTube channel. Let me clarify. It's definitely not a case of the fact that I don't have plenty of ideas. Oh, what's this? The anima must flow. Another random achievement. Is there an achievement for having all of them plugged in, right? Must be. Unlock all of the locations connected to your anima conductor. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. We need to fill the bar more before we can empower them. Reinforced, 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 reinforced. Not reinforced, not reinforced. So we still need to reinforce 2, and then we're good all over. I've got 6,500 anima. I need, how much do I need for the next upgrade? 12.5. Oh boy, okay. Let's go to Quota then. Sure. Sure. Alright, let's do Quota daily quests. We've picked up the 2 here. Where's the world boss this week? Oh, there's a cheeky 500 anima from the amateur night. I might go do that first, as we're here. Because that's literally 3 minutes of work for 500 anima. Let's pick up callings in case they happen to be something convenient. I don't know what they are. I usually don't pay attention to the callings anymore. Although I should do, because they're a good source of cheeky free renown. Bastion, Ardenweld. Where's the 3rd one? Who stole the 3rd one? Callings for golden animas, the way for catch-up anima. Yeah, it's just getting into the routine of doing it on the alts. That's the thing. It should be much easier to literally just bash out now. Oh, we have to kill things in the mall for this one. We might do that accidentally anyway if we go do the rescue the souls. It should be much easier to bash out the callings now that we can just fly around, zip about, and we're considerably more geared and can zerg through most of them pretty quickly. The way I used to do callings is I'd find a cluster, like a cluster of 3 that were all close, and do the 3 that were close. But now you don't even have to do that now that we got flying. Now that you can just zip across the map pretty quickly and easily, it's far more sensible to cherry pick the world quests that you can smash out in about 2 seconds flat, and just prioritize those. I need to get more into the habit of just doing everything possible on my main character and only playing my alts, you know, for alternate stuff. Oh my god, he's getting wrecked. Whoa, get off me. I'm not having aggro. On top of doing a few bits and pieces on our main characters, because it's reset day, we need to be mindful of keeping at least an eye on the auction house. I'm not overly fussed. What was this? Oh, that was probably just anima, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm not overly fussed about grinding out huge amounts of gold at the moment, because I'm very aware that the opportunities aren't really very strong. Sure, there's gold to be made if you put your mind to it, but you're fighting a lot harder for a lot less gold at the moment on the auction house. Which is why I'm more happy to just let it passively do its thing in the background. I'll post my auctions. If I get undercut, I get undercut. I'll post them again tomorrow. We should have sound in background on though, so we should hear if anything does sell. Another rank 6 pair of Shadowgaster boots. See, this is the thing, right? Rank 6 is 30k a piece. The incentive to, you know, auction house PvP for the incentive to auction house PvP over, you know, a 30,000 gold sale, when only a few weeks ago we were fighting over 150,000 gold sales. Oh my days, these bosses just melt. Sad numbers. I mean, it's all a matter of perspective though, right? Because before Shadowlands was a thing, like a 30,000 gold sale, you'd be jumping up and down like it was Christmas. Hang on, why was that? Why did that not give me credit for killing the dude? Why did that not? Stupid game. Yeah, back in the past, a 30,000 gold sale, you'd hit the roof with excitement over. Nowadays, a 30,000 gold sale is just, you know, is a bad day in the office. It's really weird. It's so strange how your perspective changes. What's this random whisper? Shadowgaster ring cost. Somebody's linking me. I don't even have a Shadowgaster ring at rank 6 for sale. Why is somebody, like, talk to me with, like, real words and I might respond. I mean, it's literally at cost as it is already. Or, well, it's not, but it is. Yeah, sorry, ignored. Right, this better count towards Amateur Night. Why did that not count towards Amateur Night? Oh, maybe it did. Alright, relax, relax. Relax. Right, with that in place then, let's, maybe we should go slap the world boss anyway. Or there's the really, oh yeah, we kind of should, because it's 500 really free easy anima again, isn't it? And that's kind of a big priority for us at the moment. Alright, let's go do that then. We'll give him a slap. It's all about the profit. 1 million in sales is meaningless if it's only 5k profit. For the most part, I agree. Although not always. Turning over your stock, actually, even if you have to turn over stock for like virtually no profit sometimes, there is some long tail effects of doing that, which makes it worthwhile. Simple things like the way that we mostly use Trade Skill Master means that a lot of us end up going off smart average buy price. And if you the faster you can turn around your stock, even if you're not, you know, generating a lot of profit on it, what it does do is it keeps things like your smart average buy prices more up to date and more accurate. Which is why I very heavily focus on turnover rather than profit. Profit will come. Profit will come. Like, the more you sell, the more profit you'll eventually make. Quantity over quality is the approach that I tend to take. But I do see your point though, that yeah, it's considerably more difficult to keep that motivation up when you're just not making the same amount of profit on every item. Should make a YouTube video about what you said at the end of the beta and what we get now in 9.1.5. You're going to have to tell me what I said at the end of the beta, and for reference, because I'm not really sure what you mean. I mean, I said a lot of things about a lot of things. What, in terms of where the professions are at, or I mean, realistically, nothing's changed. That's the problem. That we're in 9.1.5, and from a profession point of view, we've not really seen anything. My theory coming out of the beta, in regards to professions at the very least, was that they just didn't have development time to work on the professions. But it's more and more looking like that they just don't care. If they're not, they're going to have to do something big for professions in patch 9.2. I would imagine 9.2 will be where, historically, that's also true to be the case, that the 0.2 patch is where we get like new materials, a new cloth, a new leather, a new ore, a new herb, this sort of stuff, which in turn means that there's usually a bunch of goodies to come along with the professions as well. It doesn't usually come in patch 9 in 0.1 patches, but normally a 0.1 patch turns up quite quickly. Which means it wouldn't have made sense to be in a 0.1 patch anyway. The problem is that the 0.1 patch didn't come very quickly. The 0.1 patch took goddamn forever to turn up, and there's also the concern that the 0.2 patch is still not anywhere even remotely close. My money's on February, March, maybe even April next year before we see a 0.2 patch. Which is, in the eyes of many who have played this game for a while, is quite a worrying state. Because, I mean, by April next year, you would kind of want to be on the 0.3 patch, and you'd kind of want to start seeing a beta for the new expansion. And yeah, that's your 18 months. That's almost your 2-year time frame for an expansion. Coming to a close, not, you know, because your 0.2 patch is meant to kind of be your midway point in the expansion, right? You should be getting your 0.2 patch after about a year. We're almost rolling up on the 1-year mark, and we're not even remotely close to a 0.2 patch. So we'll have to see how it works out. Let's jump in a group for this though. All the more reason to believe that a 0.3 patch won't happen, because if they do attempt to throw out a 0.3 patch, the likelihood will probably be that this will then end up being a 3-year expansion, which probably won't go down very well in the eyes of Activision, because, you know, every expansion for the past ever has basically been on a 2-year cycle, or thereabouts. They need to release 9.2 in December, January. Well, yeah, I can't disagree. They definitely could need to do so. But I'm very much of the opinion that what we're getting in 9.1.5 is still stuff that we should have had at launch. maybe not necessarily stuff we'd have had directly at launch, but maybe in the first, you know, because it's error correction stuff, right? It's not necessarily directly tuning. It's based, a lot of what we're getting in 9.1.5 is based on feedback, and a lot of that feedback was given in the beta, and it's taken until this point for them to be able to act on it. Not that they always do act on the feedback that gets given to them, but it's taken them a lot longer than normal to act on that feedback this time round. Which, yeah, puts the expansion in a sticky situation.
Beware.
Expectation is that expansion announcements fall at BlizzCon. Doubt that's going to happen. Well, this is it. Like, because you run a big... Oh my god, we got a piece of gear. You run a big risk when you start announcing the next expansion from a developer's and a publisher's point of view. You run a big risk of that people, the second you start talking about the next expansion, people lose a huge amount of interest in the current expansion. People's focus shifts, right? And if you shift people's focus onto what's coming next, and you're not far enough through the current expansion, you're literally shitting on your own doorstep, because it means that people are going to care far less about a 0.2 or a 0.3 patch if you start talking about the next expansion. It's, Jesus, we replenished the reservoir already. Of course we have. We need to be, what are we doing now? We're going over here, aren't we? Oh my god, another 1,000 anima for these two. Alright, well, we'll go do these two. No. We need to pick up Shaping Fate first. Relax. Pick up Shaping Fate first. Yeah, this patch of fixes, which 9.1.5 appears to be, should really have been the 9.0.5 patch. To be fair, like, all of this stuff should have been, you know. Now I know there's stuff like a legendary recycling should have come in relatively quickly. Arguably, legendary recycling could or should have at least been something that was in the game very early on. The conduit energy situation, which is always a touchy subject, because, and I don't understand why the conduit energy system is ended up being such a... Why are people so defensive about a system that they do not ever interact with? That's what's really confused me about the conduit energy thing. That any time it's mentioned, any time there's a Wowhead post, any time somebody mentions it on Reddit or on Twitter, there's always 500 people that jump in and go, oh, well, I never run out of conduit energy, so the system's fine. Yeah, but if you don't run out of energy, then why are you so bothered about the fact that it's going away? The quality of life improvement is to those people that play multiple specs and want to also play multiple aspects of the game and literally zerg their conduit energy within a heartbeat most weeks, and end up rolling other characters to be able to play more aspects of the game. If a feature doesn't affect you, why are you so defensive about it changing or going away? That's what blows my mind. But we've had an update this week anyway, at least, that your conduit energy bar refills every day now, I think. So it's removing the conduit energy bar. It's probably very embedded into other systems, or at least into the conduit system entirely, that they can't just, you know, select all and delete. Doing that will probably break 5 other things, which is probably why they need to actually do it in a patch. But they can at the very least band-aid fix by just giving you 10 times the you know, the renewal time on each conduit energy. But lots of these quality of life stuff should have come in the first, you know, first balance patch, if you want to call it that. Not necessarily the second. they're chasing their tail too much. This is the big problem. Sure, we had COVID and whatever, and like literally Blizzard HQ's been turned upside down recently, but they're constantly chasing their tail, and they need to get ahead of the game. Otherwise, they'll always be chasing their tail. If you're constantly playing catch up, it's probably very difficult to get out of that. Which is often the only way that a development company like that, I imagine, could actually catch back up, is to just axe huge amounts of, you know, content that they were planning on doing. Which is probably the reason why 9.3 won't happen, because they'll have almost no ability to continue on the same path that they planned. They will have to axe something, and it will probably be the 9.3 patch. Let's pick up the dailies, considering we're here. Couple of Corthite crystals. 2 Corthite crystals. Yay! 200 gold. Boom. Young Pone redeem an ad. That's a good thing. We're about to go and run across the map. So we'll run a quick ad. Thank you very much for reminding me. I do forget to press the button. For those still in attendance and still watching, I appreciate your support, because if you're not seeing an ad, it means that you're either a filthy ad blocker, which is entirely probable. We're getting mad amounts of lag out here, or you're a sub. So thank you for that. Wow, the lag is real. Okay. Okay then. Right, well we're in Corthia now. We can get rid of that waypoint. What we now need to do is go grab this and kill the world boss as well. Better to not have a 0.3 patch if we end up with a 0.3 like BFA. Well, I don't know. whoa, hold up. I mean, corruption was an absolute cash cow for gold makers. It was dog shit for the rest of the player base, because, you know, RNG on top of RNG on top of RNG is no fun for anybody. But from a goal making perspective, it was Christmas come early. To those that had an idea of what the best corruptions were, and those who were also able to, you know, invest a bunch of gold in buying BOEs, it was actually ridiculous. Corruption was not dog shit for the player base at the end. Well, yeah, by the time everybody had the opportunity to farm up the ones that they wanted, sure. The fact that they put the vendor on a 3-week rotation was just borderline offensive. that was ridiculous. Like, if you're going to put a vendor for the gear, at least just put the gear on the goddamn vendor. I don't 3-week rotation it. 7 levels of dumb. But yeah, it's another example of, you know, a Blizzard butt. Here you go. Here's quality of life feature, but you know that quality of life only comes around once every 3 weeks. All right, great, sure. Feel everybody's whining too much about WoW, tired of the negativity bias. I don't think it's a bias. It's, unfortunately, it's a majority thing. Whilst there is definitely an avenue, it's true to say that negativity sells faster than positivity, which is why it tends to flow through social media pretty effectively. But you know, there is a huge amount of issues which can't be ignored. Acquisition of the corruption. Well, yeah, it was. I like I said, RNG on top of RNG on top of RNG was it was so funny that Blizzard chose to do that though, because the entire expansion had been about how bad the RNG was on gear. The fact that obviously Titan forging and stuff was a massive thing and had been for a long time, and people were so adamantly against all of the RNG aspect of gearing. And then Blizzard's response to, okay, we hear you about RNG, was to slap in a system that was literally RNG on top of RNG on top of... Like, it was madness. It was like, what? How does this make sense? The entire player base has been telling you that they really dislike the randomness of gearing. And so you come out with a system that is the epitome of randomness on gearing. It was crazy. And in hindsight, you just laugh at it, because it is just laughable. It was literally laughably funny. But, yeah. At the time, it was less funny. Am I going to have to put a group together for this myself? I might just can this off, if that's going to be the case, and we'll do the world boss real quick. You had literally less than 2% chance to get the corruption you wanted on a piece of gear drop. Yeah, this is why the auction house was doing mad stuff. This is why the the best in slot rolled BOEs were selling for multiple millions, because it was a seller's market. Here's one piece of gear that the entire player base would really like to have, and it just became a bidding war. Right, I want it. Obviously not literally a bidding war, because that's not how the auction house works, but I hope you understand the metaphor. That it was a seller's market. Like, I've got this piece of gear that has the best possible roll on it, and there's a sub 2% chance on a rare item having this. You are going to pay me very handsomely if you want it. WoW, I would love some FPS. I think having 3 instances of WoW open is not helping. Let's do a reload over here real quick, actually, because it, for some reason, has decided to crash.
Beware.
It's literally so laggy and so few frames, I can't even see what I'm doing. I'm just borderline going to stop pressing buttons. RNG aspect has been toned down by a large margin. Vault, no Titan forging, sockets can be bought. People are whining about obligatory Torghast, when in reality you only need to do it for a couple of weeks to get your couple of legendaries. The issue, I think, at the moment is, while I agree, yes, Blizzard have done a much better job of toning down the RNG, generally speaking. I mean, to the point where people actually consider themselves to have BIS lists now. Like, these are genuinely the best items that I'm looking for. That's a really nice position for somebody to be in. Where was I going with that one? I was going somewhere constructive with that. That's where I was going with it. The issue then becomes, though, is that Blizzard kind of swung the other way in terms of they very heavily front-loaded all of the systems. So for example, the Korthia rep grind, it was of massive incentive to many players to be running Korthia at the very beginning on as many characters and in as much of a hardcore fashion as possible. But the drop-off was huge. So by the time that you'd done what would be considered the bare minimum, the drop-off was massive. You then had virtually no incentive to be doing it. Front-loading everything so heavily is almost as much of a problem, because it incentivizes people to grind harder than they normally would, and worst case scenario, burn out because of it. And I do understand the argument that, well, it's people's own competitiveness that tells them to do that, but in a competitive game, you either choose to be competitive or you don't. That's kind of the problem. I mean, obviously focusing on gearing is, yes, that's true to say. It is literally one aspect of the game. There are multiple aspects of the game that all, you know, should synchronize together to create the complete package that is the world of Warcraft. If you focus solely on one, then it's easy to pick faults, but you got to see how it, you know, pairs together in its entirety. I'm still very much of the opinion that Shadowlands will be, or at least I very much hope it to be, treated in the same light as what Legion was. Because let's not forget, Legion was not perfect at the beginning. There was some significant problems with Legion at the beginning, but to this day, people still hold Legion as to be one of the best expansions that Blizzard have ever made. But a lot of the viewpoint came, you know, when hindsight kicks in. Legion was not perfect. The legendary acquisition in Legion at the beginning was gross. They completely fucked over a lot of their player base. You had a cap on how many legendaries you could acquire, and if you didn't get the legendary that you were looking for, you were just fucked. It was definitely not perfect, but they, without a doubt, redeemed themselves by the end of the expansion very well. Right, 50%. This quest actually, I remember doing this quest actually. This is a bit of a bait. It's 500 anima, sure, but it is a real pain in the ass to actually complete. Top guilds aren't grinding core through it all. They literally have no need for it because at the time they're getting to rank 6, they've already completed. Well, that's it, yeah. There's many mythic guilds out there that just didn't bother with legendaries. Because your rank 4 was adequate enough. 235 rank 4 legendaries were... If it was... the priority was elsewhere, right? No longer were legendaries the best in slot, the best of the best. They were just obviously good in the slot they were good in, but what actually became the best in slot for the most part was the Sanctum of the Domination gear. So that was what their focus was on. If you got a rank 4 legendary, cool, good, let's go. If you happen to do your Torghast and, you know, a 262 item level upgrade for some will definitely help, but considering the meta switched to push all of the legendaries into off slots anyway, meant that guilds were I mean, you're not getting huge stat bumps by upgrading to rank 5s and 6s, so it was kind of, you know, if you were skilled enough at the game and organised enough as a guild, you could your skill and organisation would far exceed the need for the higher rank legendaries. Echo and Limit were grinding rank 6 until Mythic started. Yeah, but those guys will do whatever. Those guys will do. They're the 1% of the 1%. Those guys will literally do anything in their power to gain that 0.1% advantage, because they're you can't use them as a benchmark. They will always do everything regardless, because they're self-proclaimed degenerates. They will go as far out of their way as they possibly can to get the smallest of advantages. Still better than grinding island expeditions for 10 hours a day? Oh, well, absolutely, yeah. And Faust, I wasn't directly sort of picking on you for, you know, creating a benchmark. It was more of a general overview that a lot of the time people like to point out the you know, your methods and your limits and your echoes and people because those guys do it, you know, it creates a precedent, and it's true. But you have also got to remember that they will out of choice do absolutely everything that they possibly can. I mean, it's bad enough that there's a 1% of players. I mean, Mythic raiding is a 1% game in the first place, but they're the 1% of the 1%. So it's so marginal that it's like, but from a data perspective, they would be considered an anomaly and just, you know, would be excluded from, you know, the results in the first place. I need to get myself out of combat. I'm a hunter, I can cheese that. Right, come on, pet, we're out of here. Right, now we can hit Korthia up. Let's go do Korthia. We're 25% into Shaping Fate. We've already farmed ourselves up like 2,000 anima today, which is really good. If we can get out of here without dying, that would be really nice. I like how many people say that Echo and Limit does this and that, and they are this and that. Dude, you don't even know all the things your class can do. Don't compare yourself to them. I mean, like I said, they are... It's like using Ronaldo and Messi as an example for your Sunday League football team, you know? It's just, you're not whilst you are technically doing the same thing, it's at such a different scale and in a totally different league that it almost becomes irrelevant. I mean, hats off to those guys though. My God, firstly, their dedication to their craft is outrageous. It's the most annoying zone in the whole game. If you're a clothy, you're most probably dead before you even get to the world boss. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's actually the one thing that puts me off doing the world boss on a lot of my characters. The fact that I have to run through there and there's a high probability I'll die just by doing it. Right, let's go to do Korthia Dailies then. Let's click that box. Let's go grab everything we need over here. Hopefully pick up a bunch of treasures en route. My bags are full again. Oh, God. What I need to do... Hang on, is firstly exit this group. We need to send a bunch of these materials over and get them sold. There's no point having them sat in my bags. Let's organise things a bit. Now let's go. Oh my days! We've got like 2 days to fix all of this. Oh my days! The worrying thing is there's probably stuff that's expired on the other end of this. That needs to be fixed like yesterday. Groups. Oh, we've got the wrong profile on TSM even. That's not very helpful. We need that one. Then we go groups, mail stuff over. That should say goodbye to a lot of our materials. Not as many as I was expecting. Although the fish and the meat disappeared. We've still just got bags of trash, that's the problem. Alright, well, it's better than nothing. We'll roll with that for now. Right, let's go. Let's go do some daily quests real quick. Smash them out. Get it done. 75% of Shaping Fate should be pretty easy. 5 world quests. Pick up a few rares. We should be good. What are we meant to be doing here? We just killing these dudes. I think we're just killing them. Oh no, devoured. We're looting the things from him. That's what we're doing. I remember now. Kill you because you've got a purple outline. Give me some free relics. Is Korthia lagging for other people or is it just me? Oh, ancient teleporters spawned. Which one is it? Oh, it's the one that's actually quite close. Let's see if we can get there quickly. Oh, I just missed that one. I just missed everything. Oh, Jesus. Well, that that was the biggest waste of time ever. Alright, sure. Managed to somehow miss everything. The Moor and Korthia are horrible zones. I don't mind Korthia. Korthia's alright. I got nothing negative to say. Well, I'm sure I could find something if I wanted to, but generally speaking, I've got not really a lot negative to say about Korthia. The Moor, on the other hand, can suck a dick. That place is horrendous. From even today, where you can freely roam it, zero interest in going there. The place is gross. Today's going to be a good skinning day, I would say. With world crests over this neck of the woods. If you happen to have your skinner, I'd get on it. The Moor should be a place you don't want to go. Thematically, yes. From a gameplay perspective, no. Why would any game developer worth their salt try and create something that players won't want to do? It's counterintuitive. Grab you. I'm going to run out of inventory space real quick, aren't I? There's a subtle difference between somewhere being a challenge, because if something is challenging, you might not necessarily, you know, the Moor could have been challenging. I guess that's what I'm trying to get. The Moor should have just been a challenge to overcome, but, you know, if rewarded correctly, that challenge is still fun. Whereas the Moor failed on that. It's not I mean, firstly, it's challenging, especially at the beginning, considering we had no gear, we couldn't mount up. It was incredibly challenging, and there was no real significant reward for being there, other than mandatory stuff that just made it feel like you just had to be there. If you were, you know, if you wanted your sockets on your gear, you kind of, oh well, I have to do that by going to the Moor, kind of thing. I think the conversation's been had 20 times at this point, but the Moor is just a terrible zone. I'm meant to be collecting some devoured animals, aren't I? What are these things? Shrines of Offerings. Is this a quest as well? Grab one of those. Grab one of these. Oh, Tormentors is about to start. We might go and investigate, we'll see. Tormentors is also good for like 25% Shaping Fate, isn't it? Oh my god, the lag. Well, at least I know it's not just me then. When looting 5 items took like 10 seconds to do. An invasive mushroom. I think we looted it. Oh, let's just wait for it to wait for it to loot 4 items then. Oh dear. Yeah, Tormentors plus World Boss. It's horrendous. It's alright though, they're a small indie development company. Time to pull. So somebody in trade chat over here is like, time to pull the ripcord and move this fucker to Westfall. Yes, get the world boss out of the Moor, for Christ's sake. It literally makes Korthia unplayable on a Wednesday. Because the world boss is constantly being pulled, right? There's always a group killing him. And because everything is sharded and linked together, you would think with so many players leaving there'd be less lag. The thing is, their servers are dynamic nowadays. It's not one physical computer that's handling it. It's not like there's just more CPU available for the computers. They're all virtual servers. They're all completely dynamic, so that they adjust their ability based on, you know, the player base at any given time, purely from a cost perspective. It's all about managing bandwidth and, like, it's, yeah, I mean, the server infrastructure behind the scenes is super fancy nowadays. It's not. You know, there's not one dusty computer in the corner of a Blizzard storeroom that's handling it all, unfortunately, anymore. The thing is, though, each shard, or each instance, or however you want to call it, of the game, should, without question, be able to handle 300-400 players on it at any one point. Because, yeah, having 40 players, you know, pew-pewing one thing, causing the server to just die on its ass, is embarrassing. It should be embarrassing for a company the size of Blizzard's to not even be able to get a 40-man server working properly. Oh, I almost want to stop looting, you know, the lag is that bad. I'm in danger of ranting too much this stream. I'm already in danger of ranting too much. Let's make things worse, though, by poking Croak. Poke the Croak. Give me some good loots. Give me a nice cosmetic shoulder for 100k. Because I know you've got them. Croak's gleaming shoulders is what I need off this dude. I think that's a bind on pickup one though, I think, so. Oh, towering exterminator. Wanted to stream snipe you, but not on the same layer. Yeah, never lucky. Never lucky. Oh, come on, we've had about 12... invading horrors, we've had enough of you now. There he is. There's the dude. Let's stand outside of that. Just do all this stuff, just not on a Wednesday. While I would agree, there's two sides to it though. 9 times out of 10, world bosses and stuff just melt on a Wednesday because you've got, you know, you've got the raid loggers out here doing it, which are usually geared to the teeth, that are probably out here doing Shaping Fate for no other reason than just to get their, oh my god, our inventory's going to be full. Literally no other reason than to just get their renown for the week and then they'll piss off. But so usually on a Wednesday, just there's loads of people about and everything melts. But the flip side is that Blizzard don't seem to be able to run their servers very well, and so everything lags. 6 of one, half a dozen, and wow, I butchered that phrase, didn't I? You know what I meant. Manthius can't speak today for some reason. Oh, there's a thing. Let's grab the thing. Are my graphic settings on Kakapoo again? System. No. Why am I not getting purple outlines all of a sudden again? I feel like only goal makers enjoy playing WoW because they don't actually play WoW. I hate to say it, there is an element of truth to that. It's far less likely that a gold maker, generally speaking, is going to get pissed off and annoyed by a system in the game because we hardly interact with those systems in the game. Like, as long as people are buying stuff off the auction house, we're all good, right? The problem is the systems for us were implemented very early days. They're called professions, and either we like it or we lump it with professions. No amount of petitioning is going to change professions, unfortunately. Not from the 10 people that enjoy making gold in this game, anyway. I mean, I get criticised a lot for the fact that I don't really play the game. And yeah. Sometimes I can't argue with them. They're kind of right. Oh no, this is the one we have to jump and click these balls, don't we? No? What are we doing to receive these? Hang on. Jump and use wings to glide through them? Oh dear. And don't glide off the edge. Jesus. Oh, we've got to do this 10 times. I remember this world quest. This world quest is a pain. I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. In fact, I bet it won't use the wings if I'm in combat, will it? Let's make sure we're out of combat first. Where are we at? 53% though. 53%. We should grab a few more. The quests are worth 40%, so we don't need much over 60 to be good. Is there a right way to play an RPG? Not necessarily, because, you know, by the nature of role-playing. If you like role-playing Jeff Bezos, then make lots of gold and have fun. Going through the mall, minding my own business, then the fallen charger ran into me. Rather nice though. Rather nicely though, he dropped the mount. GG. Big congrats. Yeah, I've not bothered farming for that thing yet. That should be, in theory, that should be another one of the things on my to-do list. But while it's a cool mount, I also have the problem of that I just don't care enough to farm it. But if you accidentally stumble across it and get it, then all the better. Two more. I know people that only ever level characters in WoW never really do anything else. There's a surprising amount of people, you know, that just do not engage with endgame content nowadays. And I mean, this is something that should be. I mean, I don't particularly want to get into our should there be a leveling system debate like we had yesterday again, because well, we've already done that, but. It is incredible just how many people just genuinely don't engage with endgame content at all. The leveling and the exploring the zones and stuff, that is their World of Warcraft. Bingo. Is that everything that we need to do for the quests? We do. We need to pick up at least 1 more treasure, preferably 2. See if we can find one. There's one up here, apparently. Oh, is this the really this is the really annoying one to get, where if you fall off, it's game over. Yeah, this is the one you got to edge your way down off the cliff. I hate this one because I always mess this up. Oh, this dude knows where it's at. No, because I do that every time. God damn. God bless disengage though, right? Right, screw it. We'll find another one. Not pissing about with stupid mushrooms that don't want to be collected. Having a weird issue with Tsm groups for legendaries. I have capes in a group which was added based on item level, but when I restock or want to post on... hang on, what does MP mean? But when I restock or want to post on MP, it messes up. Doesn't restock the right one, posts more than 2 when that's my limit. Does anybody know how to fix it? Tried specific items. Oh, MP's auction house, okay. Most problems like this are incredibly difficult to diagnose without screenshots. This is why you'll see many people ask for screenshots in Discords to show stuff like that, because we don't know how, we can't see how you've got stuff set up. I mean, there's obviously a problem somewhere, but it's incredibly hard for us to work out where that problem is without seeing it. My suggestion would be to download and use my groups. I know that sounds very, you know, egregious, but my suggestion would just be jump in the Discord, use my Shadowlands groups, because I know they work. The basic groups are available to everybody for free. If you want the groups with operations and stuff built into them already, then they're available to Patreons. But if you download and or if you import my group structure for legendaries, at least I then know that they work. And if it still doesn't work for you, then it's something, there's a deeper problem somewhere. The other alternative is you can jump into the Discord and maybe post a screenshot, and somebody might be able to take a look at it and give you a heads up to why. 80%. We're not going to quite complete it, are we? We're going to be short by a few percent. We're literally going to be one rare or one something away. Literally 96. Well, this nest down here usually spawns pretty quickly. We'll just hang about for this one. Oh, it's literally there already. Look, perfect. Let's see if we can get to it without before it despawns. Let's play the hoppy game. Hop. Bingo. Shaping Fate in the bag. 99. Oh, you son of a... Alright, sure. Oh, Popo's up, look. Let's go save Popo. Oh my days. It's going to be very difficult to save Popo when Popo doesn't move properly. Wow, okay, the lag is real. Monstrous amounts of lag. Oh dear. When using multiple accounts, is there a way to lower graphics on just one without messing up the rest? Well, whatever you log out on last is what the settings will be saved as. There is technically a way to launch WoW using a different settings profile, but it's a little bit more complicated than I'm willing to try and explain during a stream. Google Warcraft config file, and you'll probably find the answer you're looking for. It is possible, yes, but it requires you to launch the game not through Battle.net, but by using a special config file for the settings. Right, let's take this moment whilst Popo turns up to clear some bag space. Oh my god, even Zygor selling stuff to TSM takes forever. Right, sure, let's go. There were only 3 spawn points for the big chest in the rift. I couldn't find it today. I can't remember. For Zovals. There's 1 in Perdition Hold. No, I think there's 4. There's 1 in Perdition Hold. There's 1 in the southern part of the Beast Warrens. 1 centrally and 1 at the top. I think. It's been a while since I've done it. Tell you what, I know I made a video on these cosmetic, the shoulder cosmetics in Quota a long time ago. Some of them though are still really holding their value very well. For those that have stockpiles of gold and not a lot to spend it on right now, picking up some of these when they're reasonably priced is still a nice, viable, long-term investment, you know. Because I shit you not, the second everybody leaves Quota, the supply of these will dry up completely. And you know, transmog's transmog. And especially shoulders, now that we can equip 2 different transmog options for shoulders. And shoulders is always one of the bigger and better sellers for transmog anyway, because it's really prominent on your gear. Now there is a couple of bait ones out there that are just dog shit trash that are too easy to farm. But the rare ones, definitely worth looking at snagging some of them. People laughed at me when I said that the cosmetic BOEs would be worth tens of thousands of gold when I made the video, but we'll see who's laughing when they end up being resold for 100k. Right, now that's Shaping Fate done. How much have we got in our bags? We've got 17,000, I wish. 1,700 catalogued research, plus whatever we get in this chest. So we should be good for catalogued research and good for anima off this little adventure today. We got a bow. 213 bow. Shame it's one we've already got. Oh, we got our Wisps of Memory. 75,000. I bet we've sent all our dudes on missions, haven't we? No, we haven't sent anybody on missions yet. Now, questions. 75,000 experience for a companion. I'm really tempted to just dump that straight into the soulbounds, you know, because these guys have got, at this point, they take filthy amounts of experience to level up any higher. My option is either put it into one of these guys and get their level up considerably higher. What about Plaguey? Maybe I should just dump it all into Plaguey, right? Because, I mean, this dude is OP as all hell. Getting him to the point where he can solo anything might be really handy. Or, obviously, I could use it for its intended purpose, which is to, you know, put it on this dude and get him from, like, level 29 up to mid-40s, I'd guess. 75,000 experience for a single companion is crazy numbers. Plaguey's the best one. Yeah, for Necrolords, Plaguey is just easily Biss. I'm not sure what to use it for. Let me fix my bags real quickly. I've got a real problem with bags at the moment. Sell some trash. Is there any gear I can just sell as well? I'm sure there's lots of random bits of gear I should be selling. I've got too many materials in my bags, that's the problem. Oh, I made the mistake of doing this with the vendor open. If you do it with the vendor open, especially if it's the TSM vendor, it takes forever. Right, 207s, there is no way in hell we're ever going to use a 207 for anything, are we? We are way surpassed 207 by all metrics. There's not a single item slot where a 207 is going to be useful to us. Especially not a pole arm. Although, let's be fair, am I ever going to actually go survival? Probably not, but I should probably keep one just because. Oh, I've got two of them. Well, we can sell one of them then. See you later. In you go. Off you go. Oh, we definitely don't need a third one. 213 bow. What bow are we using? We're using that same bow, aren't we? No, we're not. Haste verse. Oh, a crit mastery bow is actually better. Oh dear. Oh dear. That bow is actually better for me. I'll keep that just in case. Oh, I've got loads of weapons here actually. Let's just get rid of them. I can't be bothered. I need to remind myself that I'm probably not actually ever going to use any of this gear, so just get rid of it. See, this is one of the cosmetics that's a bit of a bait one, right? It's bind on equip. You can sell it for 150 gold, but the Ritualist Spiked Mantle is the bait one. This one is, you know, you see this way too frequently. It's dirt cheap. Less than one a day sells, but it's got a 10% sale rate, but it's stupidly cheap. Even, to be fair, even these, they're super cheap. It might not be a bait, you know, actually. They're super cheap and readily available now, but the same logic applies. The second everybody moves on from Quota, the supply of these will dry up completely. There isn't going to be any. The only thing is that Quota will still have people doing it for a while because the rep for Archivist Codex is a bit of a, you know, bit of an annoyance. But the supply will drop very heavily later on in the expansion, and past Shadowlands, the supply of these will just disappear 100%. Arguably, they could be fashionable at the moment because they're kind of the current thing, which doesn't necessarily indicate that they'll have a long-term appeal, but, you know, it's an epic BOE cosmetic item. I find it hard to believe that if you buy some of these up cheap nowadays, that you won't see a return on them. The only thing to be careful of is their deposit fee on the auction house is going to be gross. They're going to be super expensive to list on the auction house because of their 150 gold sell price. Posting these on the auction house too frequently will just absorb any profit from selling them. 207 ring with speed on it though. Maybe we'll look at that one in a bit more detail. 207 finger with a socket on it as well. Oh, it's not upgradable. See you later in a bit. Alright, I think that's... Look how many Veiled Augment runes I've got in my bags. Once again, should just dump these on the auction house and get rid of them. Right, there's not a huge amount more stuff I can just sell easily. Right, that should hopefully fix a problem. Those are rookie numbers? Oh, I know it's rookie numbers. It's because I'm a rookie. What are these? Oh! Big relics. Big relics. Right, so we've got 2,500 catalogue research to turn in. Which will push us a little bit closer. Also, get rid of some stuff in our bags. 8,500 into tier 4 now. We should now have monumental amounts of anima to turn in as well. Must be close to 4,000 anima there, you know. Which is actually going to push us very close. But if that pushes us to 10k, then I almost should probably do an anima grind once or twice this week and upgrade our next Covenant Sanctum-y thing to the next level. Let's half back then. It'll be nice with the anima drop off in Korthia. Yeah, I agree actually. I think our bag space problems would be fixed very quickly though if they just, you know, anima, just treat it like a currency. Or treat it like a reputation, sorry. You just automatically get it. It automatically goes into your Covenant Sanctum. Like, what's the logical reason of it being an item that we have to turn in at this point? There isn't any. The fact that they've now upgraded the Sanctum to hold up to 200,000 should mean that it just, you know, if you generate anima, it goes in. I guess maybe when they make it so that you can send anima to other characters, possibly, I don't know, but it makes you interact with the Sanctum. Yeah, you see, it's one of those, it's good for the game designers, it's not good for the players kind of thing. It's good for the game designers because it means you go back to your Sanctum. But from a gameplay perspective, it's not good. 10,600. We need 12,500. We've got the souls that we need as well. Oh, boo! We didn't go and collect our souls from the moor. I knew there was something else we were meant to do. I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to do that. God damn. Because if I don't do that now, I won't do it this week. I know for a fact. If I don't do it now, I won't do it this week. So I'll do it now. Do you need all that gear in the bag? In the bags? Not really, no. Well, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Are we doing Torghast too? Hell no. No, not pissing about with Torghast. Although I should do, because I still haven't crafted my rank 6, and I still don't have enough soul cinders. I'm such a scrub. But I just can't be doing. Yeah. Let's go grab our souls. We need the souls because we need to upgrade our Covenant. That's very high on my priority list. Just do one run. And Imported yours and I have the same issue. In that case then, what? Be a little bit more, either be a little bit more descriptive of what's going wrong. Just saying it fucks up is the least descriptive you could possibly be. It doesn't restock the right one, posts more than 2, as that's my limit. I don't know how to fix that. Also synced account if that breaks something. Yeah, you'll obviously need to have the group structure the same on both profiles of TSM. Post limit set to 2 in default. Have 2 already, and it tells me to post more. Oh, please, please, please tell me you're not using the default auctioning operation. That's a terribly bad idea in the first place. You'll need to the way that you have your groups, because it's if you're posting on one character, crafting on one character and selling on another character on different accounts, both those accounts need the same or need to have the TSM groups set up in the same way. In terms of, you'll need to have the items added to the groups based on their item level. They are. I'm at the point then where I probably can't help you without seeing it. So I would post a screenshot or 2 in the Discord with the tooltip of the item that you're trying to sell, with as much information showing on the tooltip as possible, even if it doesn't sound to you like it's a helpful thing for somebody else to see. 9 times out of 10, somebody that knows their way around TSM can fix most problems just by seeing a tooltip. Either post in my Discord, or there is the official Trade Skill Master support Discord, where presumably Gumdrops will take a look at it. Stuff like that gets very hard to diagnose without seeing it. Let's do a cancel scan on Legos while we're here. All my days we've been undercut on everything. All the things. I should probably do a cancel scan on both realms, actually thinking about it. Because it is Wednesday after all. It is the day of the week where if you're going to sell anything, you're going to sell it today. I should be a little bit more proactive. Let's do cancel scan over here. What are we selling? Rank 2 Bone Shatter Pauldrons. Some Shadebound Treads at item level 200. For nearly 7k. That'll do. That'll do. How much have you sold so far today? Not a lot. Genuinely not a lot. I've reposted auctions. I've not been doing cancel scans though. And as you can tell, Miss Banks is back online. So there's a good chance that she'll be more competitive than I probably will be today. How do you make TSM ignore the items of certain groups on your alts? For example, I want to ignore the fact that it counts potions and flasks on my main. There's two ways you can do it. You can tell TSM to either ignore those characters, but when you tell TSM to ignore the character, it tends to it'll ignore everything on that character. The other way that I suggest is just craft up your crafting quantities, you know, to cover the amount that you want on your characters. So if you want 20 potions on your main character, but you also want 100 to sell on the auction house, then craft 120, and it will take into account the 20 you've already got for the warrior, and then have 100 spare, for example. It's a much easier thing to fix with a crafting operation than it is to start telling TSM to ignore characters for certain things. Unbehind rank 4 legs for 68k. There's got to be some big profits in those then. Unbehind legs, rank 4, most realms, you're looking at what, 25k crafting cost? Nearly 3x your investment every time you sell a pair. It's not bad. You'll probably make the rank 4s for even less than that, actually, based on vestiges now, if you're smart about it. Right, 120k worth of stuff in the mailbox. A little bit still coming through. Another question, why sometimes does TSM cancel scan start taking really long to cancel one item? Yeah, welcome to throttling, as Derpalicious said. After you've done any more than 60 cancels within a short period of time, everything will slow down to a crawl. It's designed so that people don't, you know... It was probably directly implemented to prevent bots from just being able to cancel and repost thousands of things in basically no time whatsoever. But yeah, it's just part of how the way the auction house works. You have the easy way to consider it is that you have like an auction house quota. There's a limit to how many things you can do on the auction house in any given time. And if you use your quota really quickly, you have to wait for your quota to regenerate before you can use it again. Cancelling is very quota intensive, so you can only really cancel about 60 auctions in about a 5-minute time frame before you start getting the slowdown. You have to wait quite a while for it to go back to normal speed again. Often to why people nowadays focus only on a certain amount of items to cancel scan with. Nobody in their right mind is going to... For example, this is why nobody cancel scans like materials or potions, or equally you probably shouldn't be. Mainly because you just end up posting way too many things that you can't just actively cancel scan on them. Like, I don't cancel scan on all of the legendaries. I only cancel scan on the ones that I'm really eager to keep at the front of the queue. Or you can do what some people are doing and just cancel scan on 2 accounts on the same realm. I mean, well, yeah, Blizzard don't really mind if you do that, because you're paying them twice as much money to play the same game. Or in my case, I've currently got 4 accounts active, so... in Blizzard's eyes, I'm basically 4 people. I mean, I've got 3 accounts open right now. We were going to the mall, weren't we? Back in the early 9.0 crazy days, I was posting and cancel scanning on 3 accounts on the same server at the same time, purely to get around that throttle. But rank 6 Umbrahide Helm, 52k, 51k crafting cost. Yeah, hardly worth the effort there. I mean, I'll sell them at that price all day long, but it really is hardly worth the effort. When the historical price was 200k on these not so long ago. Really does promote degenerate gameplay? Yeah, it does. A lot of things about this game nowadays promotes that, though. That's the issue. The more degenerate you want to be with the game, the greater the chances that you'll end up giving Blizzard more money. So, is why they kind of allow it. But, boys and girls, I'm going to very quickly take a 2-minute break. We're a couple of hours into the stream and I've not taken a single break yet. I'm going to run a couple of minutes of ads just in the downtime. Please feel free to ignore the ads. Use the opportunity to go grab yourself a drink, take a bathroom break, do some star jumps, do whatever you need to. We'll be back in 2 minutes, boys and girls. Alrighty, boys and girls, how we doing? Right, where are we at? Oh, rank 6 Shadowgast ring. 55k. Go on then. 2 rank 6 Shadowgast Greaves in less than an hour for 109k each. Oh my days. I think I found the issue. Created a new profile, created a new group, went to base group to search for Grimveiled Cape, and there are 15 items. Duplicated item level. Which would be the correct item to add to the group? Tried with creating the item and adding to the group and it didn't work. That sounds like you're... You want to add the... You only want to add your legendaries to groups based on item level. Any other selection is wrong. If you select base item, it's wrong. Yeah, item level is the only selection you want to select. I don't know what you're doing to see 15 different variations of the same. I'm not sure what's going on there. Like I said, I'm at the point where I can't really help you without seeing it. I have 3 item level 262s. Yeah, you've got something wrong somewhere. Alright, let's grab... Did we do a cancel scan over here? Oh geez, now I can't remember if we did a cancel scan here or not. I tell you what, by the fact that we sold a rank 6 ring means we probably did. Alright, I'm happy with that. Let's get these souls real quick. I need to get these goddamn stupid souls from the moor. And then I'll be a happy hunter. Yeah, it sounds like you've got bigger problems. If you're seeing 3 different variations of a 262 item level Shadowgast Cape, for example, you've got bigger problems. I would suggest jumping in the official TSM Discord and posting a few screenshots showing your issue. The more information you can, don't crop your screenshots either. This is something that people tend to do. Because people end up cropping out information. Full screen screenshots showing as much information as you can fit on the screen at any given time. And a TSM wizard or gumdrops will probably take a look at it and probably give you some advice. It sounds like you've got a caching issue of the items somewhere. But like I said, without seeing it I can't really help any further, especially when I'm in the middle of a stream. Let's grab... How many of these souls do we need nowadays? Is it still 20? Still 20 of the damn things. Didn't I have a quest actually to kill 3 things out here? Wasn't it one of the bonus objectives? It was. Well, we can slap you about, because that's 1. Boom, there's 1 of 3. Let's go, if we do... Ooh, we need 2 more. 2 more. There's the fiery dude up here we can grab. Then we just need 1 more rare. What was his name? Stygian Ember or something. This big fellow up here. Can't remember his name. Yeah, Stygian Incinerator. That's the one. We'll pew pew him in a sec. That will be 2. I'm trying to think of another quick and easy, borderline guaranteed rare to go kill. I think once I've got the basics out the way on this dude, I'm going to spend a little bit of time today, I think, polishing off those new Tsm groups that I've been working on. As I would like to get those in the hands of people relatively quickly if I can. Ember Fused Band, 213. I didn't realise that the rares out over here could also drop gear that was Corthia level. Maybe they can. Aldrich's closed and pretty easy. Which one's that one? Soulsmith, Stygian dude. I don't know who that is. Oh, the dude that chills around here. I don't know. Just to the north. Oh, we'll find somebody. We'll find somebody. Let's head there now, see if we can find him. Go the scenic route. Don't particularly want to attract the big behemoth dude, unless we absolutely have to. I'm pretty confident at this point that my past expansion materials group is complete. I finished off the categorization. Is that the right word? Probably. I finished off the categorization of the different materials into their respective expansions. So I think the past expansion materials is about ready to set out into the wild. The groups might take me a little bit more time to do. And I've decided, I was thinking about this a lot, that obviously I know one of the perks of my Patreon is that it comes with operations and custom price sources and all that sort of stuff as well. But for past expansion stuff, I don't think that adds much benefit to people. And let me explain why. Because I think that people are going to use it in people are going to want to use it in a very different way. Basically, everybody is going to use Shadowlands professions and Shadowlands professions and groups and stuff in a very similar way. But most people, I think, when it comes to past expansion professions and stuff, for starters, not everybody is going to have all of the recipes, because part and parcel of the past expansion professions is that you have to actually go out of your way to collect a lot of it. the nicety is just having that TSM profile there, ready and waiting for when you have collected the recipes. That you can instantly assign. You can assign whichever crafting operation you want. There are some basic stuff where I might. But I would rather just give people the blank canvas, I think, with the past expansion stuff. Rather than sort of 100% idiot-proof setup. Because, for example, some people might want the past expansion TSM profiles simply for, you know, because they're a completionist and they just want all of the patterns and want to know kind of like, want a simple setup maybe for shopping scans, for finding transmogs, or like, some people will lean in one direction more than another, I think. Some people would want the groups there to be able to run shopping scans against them. Some people will want the groups there to be able to run sniper scans against them. People are going to want to use it in a different way, I think. I don't think there's like one easy, correct way of doing it. Oh, there's another rare here, look. Well, should we kill him while we wait? Might as well. There's no harm. Well, there's no harm to me. There's lots of harm to him if we kill him, but you know what I mean. Because I'm on a bit of a... I'm on a bit of a mission at the moment to try to help entry-level goblins more so. I'm very cautious of that. A huge amount of the content that I produce is focused on more advanced stuff, and it kind of has the requirement of you already being quite invested into goal making in the first place, and you actually enjoy goal making more as a, you know, more as a pastime in the game rather than just a means to make quick easy gold. In that regard, there's two very different approaches to gold making. There's those people that just want to make as much gold as they physically can in as short a period of time as possible, presumably to, you know, pay for something like game time. And there's the people that actually want to have a greater understanding of how the economy works and how that they can take advantage of that. I tailor my content very much to the latter. But I don't think I do a great job of helping beginner goal makers, not anywhere near as much as I probably could or should. So this is hence why my desire to get these past expansion materials and profession groups up and running, because they serve a really good purpose. I mean, for the percentage of the player base that doesn't even have Shadowlands, just plays the, you know, the quote-unquote free version of the game up to level 50 with just a sub. There's a huge amount of people that do that they should still be looking at the professions. Plus, when it comes to like just simple basic farming stuff, I don't have anything on that, and it's usually because I don't really engage in that too much myself. My content usually is focused around what I've been doing in the game. Where's my Hearthstone? There it is. Gonna assume it's my internet that's being bad, not the stream. Bitrate's fine. Dropped frames 0. Unless it's a Twitch thing, it's a you thing. I'm all gravy my side. I'm all good my side. Sometimes Twitch just has a heart attack. Hit the refresh button and it might fix itself. Especially if you're using Chrome. Alrighty. Did we do our mission table stuff today? I don't think we've done our mission table stuff. I'm out of ammo on a lot of my characters. That's the problem, actually. I'm going to need some videos on how to become a goblin in real life so I can start my own internet company. Ooh! A pet. While I have a reasonable idea of how to use and abuse the economy in the game, I have to admit I'm not super good at the real life economy stuff. Now, I didn't decide who I'm going to dedicate this this wisps to, did I? See, 75,000 experience can go a hell of a lot way to one of these top dudes, but it can also go a hell of a long way to making these low-level dudes useful. He's level 29 right now. Should we throw 75,000 experience at him and see where he goes to? Let's do it. Let's find out. From 29 to 42 in one go. Oh damn! That actually puts him at a. He's still miles behind a lot of my others, but to be in the be in the 40s at least, that's okay. Yeah, that was worth. Fine. Real life, it's kind of the same. Buy cheap shit off eBay in China, sell it locally on eBay for 2 to 3 times the price. Nobody wants to wait 3 weeks for delivery from China. Yeah. If you do the 3-week wait and order in bulk, and then just sell it out to the people that don't want to wait and want it next day, bingo. How will the quest to replenish the reservoir work with sending anima to alts? It probably won't work. Like the replenish the reservoir thing will, because that actually works based on when you receive the anima items, not when you hand them into your covenant. That's a good point, though. I don't know. Easy answer is I don't know. No bonus XP missions. Now, 3,000. These are a bit of a bait, you know. These low-level ones, these 3,000 XP ones, are a bit of a bait because they cost a lot of animo in the first place to get these, and 3,000 experience to one companion is actually not that good. You should probably be using these 1,500 XP, 1,200 XP ones and stacking 5 characters on them for the same anima cost. These are a bit of a bait. The bigger ones, though, the 7,500, the 10,000 ones are worth doing, but they don't show up very often. Obviously, if you've got 200,000 anima kicking about, you don't care, but not many of us are in that luxurious position. Ah, that's good. Now, at least, all my low-level ones can complete the level 51 elite missions. One dude dies, but he levels up, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's cool. We like that. It still blows my mind to think that level 49 for your companions is actually only halfway there in relative XP terms. You think that, oh, it's almost 50, 60's round the corner, but yeah, actually no. Like if you math out how much experience is needed to get to level 60, 49 is the halfway point. I mean, we might as well do the Soul Cinders ones, I suppose. There's 1,000 XP on offer. That'll do. There we go. Right. Let's work a little... Oh, actually. I've remembered something I really should do before I get into Tsm Groups. I've got a bajillion expired auctions that are going to disappear in a few days, which I can very easily accidentally forget about. There's probably 300, 400,000 gold worth of stuff here that I need to fix. Right, let's go over to an auction house somewhere, or a boss, somewhere like that. No, we'll go Dalaran. We'll go Dalaran. And I was wondering why my level 54 dude does all the high experience missions and doesn't level up. Yeah, because they end up needing like 20,000 experience per level. It gets ridiculous. I've just realised my guild name, the guild name I have is called Gold Capped. The guild isn't Gold Capped anymore, neither am I. My alts are, but this character isn't. It's kind of a false advertising. Right, we need to be real cautious here, because one slip up in the matrix is going to fuck up everything. Because what we're going to do is we're going to press a button in a minute, and that button is going to empty our bags into the bank. But the problem is if I do this wrong, I screw everything up. So, no refreshing of the UI. Let's loot. Ooh, there's a... Whoa! There's 2,500 Phaedra ore that's about to expire in a few days as well. Holy shit. That would have been tragic. There's 100,000 gold of Phaedra ore just kicking about that I nearly lost. Oops. How we doing, Stro? Welcome, welcome. Only got one follower left to get to 60, then plus the one coming at Renown 71. Damn, that's impressive. Why can't you refresh the UI? Because if I do so, when I go back to the bank, I won't be able to press the restore bags button and get my everything back out the bank in one easy go. I'll have to manually go through and click everything again. Right, let's get. This is just for reference. All of this is just low level jewel crafting and leatherworking stuff. That in theory I should actually post on the auction house way more frequently. But I'm lazy, so I don't. So in simple terms, max laziness. Yeah, pretty much. Does Twitch not have subtitles? I've seen some streamers that do have subtitles though, you know. And I'll tell you what, some of those massive, well, maybe not necessarily the massive Spanish streamers because they're already massive, but they maybe if you have a relatively strong accent in any way, shape or form, having auto-generated subtitles may not be the worst idea. But 9 times out of 10, the auto-generated stuff is trash. I mean, look, Google is the biggest tech company in the world, and even they can't get auto-generated subtitles to work fantastically well. So some of the stuff they spew out is a complete gobbledygook. Right, if I post all of these on the auction house, it'll be another... They'll sit on the auction house for 48 hours. And then in 30 days' time, I'll do this again. Or in 29 days' time, I'll do this again. There's a very small window of opportunity for people to buy my low-level stuff at the moment. XQC needs subtitles. Funny guy, but can't understand shit when he speaks. Look, XQC doesn't understand half the shit he says. Never mind anybody else. You need a dude filter for XQC. A natural audio dude filter. Like, if you remove the word dude from his vocabulary, he probably speaks in perfect English. Outside of that, though, it's just crazy talk. The fact that I've crafted all of these gems is just ridiculous. I should just vendor all of these gems. They're just the biggest waste of both time and gold crafting these gems in history. Like, quite literally. Especially considering they cost a metric shit ton to post on the auction house as well. Random invite declined. Hey, accept for a little bit, please. No. Randomly invite me to a group without even introducing yourself. Alright, let's grab and put all of that on the auction house. Yeah, like, for example, random defenders dreadstones. Like, literally, I have no idea why I ever crafted any of these. I kind of know why I crafted them, because, you know, TSM said, hey, it's profitable, you should craft this, and I stupidly just went, sure, okay, I'll craft it. But in reality, I didn't take much care or consideration into who might actually want to buy it, so... He'll give you a nice UI script that you'll need to open the mailbox next. Yeah, exactly. Kids these days have no manners. Privileged little shits. Come on, finish your scan. Blows my mind just how many people do post this low-level stuff, though. And it's probably for the same exact... I mean, look at this, for example. Some stuff I need to... This is maybe one thing I could or should do, actually, thinking about it, with my low-level profession groups. Maybe I should Ah, there's an opportunity here. I have an opportunity to fix the internet. Because 90%, I reckon 90% of people that are posting this low level stuff have no idea what they're doing and are just going off the fact that TSM told them that it was profitable that they could be doing.
You just lost $5.
Shaman, how's it going, everyone?
How's it going, dude? Thank you, thank you. 6-month streak. That is impressive. Thank you for the Prime Gaming. I highly appreciate it. Welcome in and good to see ya. Maybe my low-level profession groups can try and do something to counteract the outrageous levels of inflated prices on past expansion gear. Because who in their right mind is going to try and buy a turbid forward emerald for 17,000 gold? Nobody ever in the ever of everness ever. Not to mention, most people's default auctioning operations are just going to continue to make the problem worse. It would be a greater service to people to have not wasted the gold or the deposit fees or the effort in crafting these things in the first place. Me included, I should point out. 90% of this stuff in my bags that I'm about to put on the auction house is dog shit and it should just be vended. Maybe if I do make my low, because, I mean, I don't know the exact numbers because it's impossible for me to track, but I'm very, very certain that my current Shadowlands groups have been downloaded tens of thousands of times at this point.
You just lost $5.
Oh!
Little Oov.
Resubbing with the 3-month tier 1. Thank you, Little Oov. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. +1 armor is a Abyss gem slot, though. Well, maybe it is. Maybe I'm just, you know. I mean, for example, my auctioning operation on this is set that you'll see this a lot. Above max price, posting at normal. This is my somewhat effort to try and prevent things getting out of hand too much. But the only way that it works is if I actually continuously keep posting this. For example, footpads of impending death, right? Item level 35, random epic piece of leather, Wrath of the Lich King. Cool, it's got a couple of sockets on it. Cool, whatever. Crafting cost of about 4,000 gold. There is no way in hell this thing is ever going to sell for the 80,000 gold that it's currently sort of valued at. The regional sale average is 30. So even at 10x the crafting cost would be significantly more sensible. Oh, I've also just noticed Little Oovers extended their tier 1 through till November. You are getting ahead of the game, my friend. Congratulations and thank you very much. Thank you very much. Maybe we can do something to try and counteract this inflation. It probably doesn't help that the materials get inflated as well. So even then doing something based on the crafting cost isn't that helpful. Because I know for a fact that 8 pieces of Arctic fur probably shouldn't cost 3,000 gold. Although I do know from past experience that Arctic fur is annoying to get hold of when you need it. So maybe 8 times 4, maybe it should be 2,000 gold, but okay, maybe it's not too inflated, but 10 Eternal Shadows for 300 gold. That's actually really cheap. That's really cheap. That's actually really cheap. 10 Eternal Shadows should be like 600 gold. Because you can basically buy them for 60 gold a piece. Pension check arrived. Boom. Great way to spend it. Great way to spend it. Anyway, let's get all of this on the auction house and then I can put some thought process to all of this. How many more stuff is in the mailbox? 55, that's not too bad. Clean our mailbox out. Not done it for a while. Well, as you can tell, we've not done it for about 27 days at this point. Right, let's dump the rest of that on the AH, and then we can play around with TSM for an hour or so. Try and get a few things finished. I've just thought, actually, I don't think I'm using the correct profile for all of this. Whatever. I'd rather just get rid of it anyway. So based on some outrageously overinflated prices of past expansion stuff, just that auction house clean out alone is over 10 million gold worth of stuff. Yeah, that's seriously broken. 300 auctions, 10 million gold worth of stuff. No, just actually not. What is going on here? Why is there a timeless Twilight Opal being listed for 7 million gold? Oh dear. Oh dear, that's got a little bit out of hand there, hasn't it? That's gone a little bit out of hand. This is my point, right? This is the shit that we need to try and get rid of. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'll take 10. Yeah. Snow Lily Belt, 170k. Yeah, maybe not. Don't think so. What? What? Shut up, Trade Skill Master. Trade Skill Master is trying to tell me that the crafting cost of this thing is 108,000 gold. Oh my god. Oh, it's gone mental. The thing is this is only going to get worse. Before too long, this level of crazy inflation that's happening because of people using default TSM, it's going to mean that just everything from any expansion in the history of the past is just gold cap. Post everything at gold cap. If you sell one thing a month, you're balling. Ah, Jesus. Okay. Right. Sure. Why, just out of curiosity, is a hardened magnificent hide valued so incredibly expensive? You need 21 of them to make this thing. What's hardened magnificent hide material cost right now? Materials, hardened magnificent hide, 5k a piece. You mad? See, it's it's all because of one broken thing. Apparently out of nowhere, Spirit of War is now worth 4,500 gold. which has taken a hardened magnificent hide that should maybe have a crafting cost of 500 gold. It's taken it to 10x that, which when you multiply that, when you 10x something and then 20x it on top, you get stupid stuff happening. Why is a Spirit of War 4,500 gold all of a sudden? Oh dear. Spirit of War based on smart average buy blah blah, because the market price has gone totally bananas on this thing. Look, the it's just spiraled out of control here and all. Yeah, should be using sale average as a weighted source for crafting. Yeah, we got to do something about this. We got to do something about this because it doesn't help anybody, right? It doesn't help the fact that people are paying probably way over the odds to craft past expansion stuff because TSM is telling them that it's profitable to do. And the reason that TSM is telling them that it's profitable to do is because the crafted item is then in turn also massively inflated in value. The only person that's benefiting off this is that random one occasional sale that you may get by one of these super duper inflated items. Came back after a month's break and was delighted to see that my 800 Korthite crystals were worthless. Yeah, that hurts. I was lazy and was punished. Hey, that'll be the last time you take a break to play Final Fantasy, right? Your month free trial of Final Fantasy ended up costing you a shitload of gold. That's just a guess, by the way. I have no idea if that's what you were doing, but okay. We have an opportunity. We have an opportunity that lots of people like to use my TSM groups. It's a fortunate position to be in. Meaning that if I do anything for TSM groups of past expansion stuff, it needs to be at least a little bit clever. Even if I would prefer to give people a blank canvas to work with. I think I need to make it at least a little bit clever so that if nothing else it tries to at least counter some of this bonkers level inflation that's happening. Because to me it looks the same as, because if I open, for example, let's do what average Joe does and show you just how bad the situation has got. Let me check what profile I'm using real quick. I am actually using, okay, sure. Let me jump into the old professions one, which is TSM groups that I've been working on, that it's all of the past expansions professions, and every single pattern or craft in the game is in these groups, regardless of whether I've learnt it or what the case is. So, like, these are 100% groups. So I've not actually organised them perfectly yet, I've just built them. But you can go through these through any expansion and you'll have every single craft all grouped, all ready to go. But if for example, maybe this is why I do want to put some simple operations on this stuff. If you were to, for example, just apply a very simple default operation like people do. Let's say we do what is the default crafting operation actually? Is it just 100 gold? Oh dear God. Okay. This is what TSM ships with as default. Okay. Oh my God, that's painful. So, if somebody just was to take one of these and that default crafting operation is applied, I need to. What I'm trying to do is replicate what somebody might do if they just download my groups without me having any, you know, say on what the operations are. And they go to Tsm Groups and they say, right, okay, well, I'm a jewel crafter. I've downloaded Mantheus's jewel crafting. I've just leveled up some of my Northrend jewel crafting. What is profitable for me to sell? And we hit restock. And then it's going to give you 1,380 Northrend jewel crafting recipes. A cost of 713,000 gold to make everything. But a potential 4 million gold profit. No, what you've actually done is you've taken 700,000 gold and you've burnt it, because you are never going to get a return on that in a million years. Not ever, 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 ever. We be rich, yo. There is no way in God's name that you are ever going to turn that 700,000 gold into more than that. So, that said, the way that TSM ships out the box is not good enough. Crafting 20 of each, lol. Yeah, but this is my point, right? A lot of us will look at this and go, yeah, that's actually bonkers. But that's how TSM ships out the box. The default crafting operation is craft 20, which blows my mind. It should be craft 1. And you should up it if you feel the need to. The default crafting operation should not tell you to craft 20 of anything. I have no idea why that is so high. That's really bad. Because the uneducated are just going to look at 3.7 million gold profit and they're going to think that they're laughing all the way to the bank because they've installed this TSM add-on. When in reality, they're going to spend 700,000 gold. They're going to make some material sellers very rich, but they're going to be in the bin like so quickly it's not even funny. And that's just Northrend. That's not, you know, if you happen to have leveled up the other past expansion stuffs. Let's clear that. Let's say, all right then, well, what happens if we do Pandaria? And we click the restock button. Boom! Boom! 4 million of cost. We're making 20 Jeweled Onyx Panthers all of a sudden. Oh god. Oh god. Do a full restock. Full jewel crafting. Like, for reference, before I do this, I should point out that I've got a lot of jewel crafting recipes. There's very few recipes that I need from basically anywhere. I still need a lot of Cataclysm ones, but I have a lot of jewel crafting recipes. But for the purpose of science, if we were to do a full restock based on how TSM is default crafting out the box, we did a full restock, we would break the internet. Yeah, that's not happening. Can anybody see these numbers? It cost us 6 million gold to fully restock jewel crafting, but a potential profit of 3 gold caps. 29 million. Oh my days. It's actually funny. If you don't know how to use the tool, don't use it. But if you don't know how to invest, do not do it. But if they do use it, hopefully they'll learn their lesson. Yeah. This is reason alone to why I probably 30 million for 4 hours crafting. Can you just think about the return on it? Like, the gold per hour on that? Outrageous. 7.5 million gold an hour? Go on then. 7.5 million gold an hour. No, what is it? 4 hours, nearly 5 hours, 30 million gold. Oh God. Okay. Yeah. That's just clarified something for me then. Video thumbnail. Yeah. Right, it's just a casual 8,000 items, by the way. Just saying. Just a casual 8,000 items. Alright then, well that proves a point that we do need, if we're going to ship this out to the masses across the internet, then we need to ensure that there is some logic behind it. Because if they install these groups, and they rely on just, you know, the default TSM stuff, going to be a lot of very unhappy customers before too long. How do we fix this then? How do we fix this? Let's break this down. Let's do this one step at a time. Let's look firstly at crafting. Do a clickbait video on this. Wait for Samadan to include it in the weekly wrap-up. Then read the comments to it on Monday. It's like clickbait inception, right? Clickbait inside clickbait to generate more clickbait. Yeah. It does highlight a point, though. It does highlight a very good point. That TSM really should reconsider what their default setup is. Because their default crafting operation is bananas. Actually bananas. For example, let me try and replicate what I think a somewhat basic default operation for crafting should be. So let's... just out of curiosity, we'll duplicate this. Default 1. So, minimum restock should be 1. Maximum restock should also be 1. As default, you should never make more than 1 item. Like, why is the default set to 20? That in itself is bananas. Minimum restock 1, maximum restock 1. Minimum profit amount, let's be honest here, this is a crafting operation. There is no reason the default should be based on a fixed value. Minimum profit amount, 10% crafting. There is no reason why they shouldn't be using the crafting operation by default here. Because you can't use a crafting operation on something that you can't craft. So, a fixed gold value is pointless. This does two things. Your default operation is meant to be used as a point of learning. It should be what you start with and what you learn from. So this will also start to indicate to people that, well, hang on, what actually is profit? What is this crafting value? How does it come from? Yeah, there'll be questions, but it's meant to trigger questions, right? This is basically what the default operation should be. This guarantees that, sure, you're going to make a minimum of 10%. There's got to be a minimum of 10% of the 10% profit on something for you to craft it, and you're never going to make more than 1 by default. If you want to choose to make more than 1, you go ahead. But 1 should be the absolute default, not 20. Not 20 at all. Everything else, that's fine. That should be your basic. Which is so different from this. So different, it's unbelievable. So much so, I think I'm going to directly suggest Gumdrops change that, because the default crafting operation is bananas. And they can't even use the argument that, oh, well, we just use 100 gold for simplicity. Have you seen the default auctioning operation? It is the least simplistic thing you've ever seen in your life. Are you going to try and tell me that somebody brand new to Trade School Master understands what the fuck is going on here? I barely understand this, and I'm a wizard with this add-on. Like, they need to address that, for sure. 24 hours, yeah, sure, middle of the run. You post an auction once a day, makes sense. Post cap of 5, alright, maybe I get it. It covers the fact that you might get 2 of something, and you might, but this is useless for materials. Let's be fair. But this is for a beginner friendly, for a default Nah! Nah! Rookies probably start with potions and food, hence 20. But it's absolutely 100% better for them to, by default, craft only one, and then wonder why they only crafted one, and maybe look into it. And maybe decide that, right, this would be a good time to make a new crafting operation, which does craft 20. Starting at 20, because what happens if somebody installs TSM and they're looking to do, I don't know, item level 200 or item level 230 gear, and out of nowhere they get told to craft 20 of it, and they get told to craft 20 because apparently it's profitable. That bonkers. There's no logic behind that. 100 gold profit on a potion on what server? Well, yeah, that's also true. That's if that was the mindset behind it, there's another significant issue that you ain't never making 100 gold profit on a potion. The default's just bad. Like the default crafting one is just bad. There's no other way to state this is just bad. It needs to be this. 10% crafting, stock 1. It's the default. It's not meant to be ideal. It's not meant to be perfect. It's meant to be. It's meant to work for everything, and it's meant to be mediocre. If you want to customize it, you go and customize it. Alright, I've done my that's my piece on why the default crafting operation is bad and it needs to be changed. Feel free to clip that and send it to Gumdrops. But okay, let's now think if we are going to push these groups into the hands of many people. Do we just, considering the fact I've just done a massive piece on why this should be the default crafting operation, I feel no reason why this shouldn't actually be the crafting operation that I apply to everything by default. Because this is about as good of a catch-all situation. It means it will only craft stuff that, you know, there's at least a little bit of profit on it. Now, there's obviously the problem of that the profit margins are misrepresentative because of the inflation of the listing prices of stuff. Maybe as a catch-all, we should actually, if we're acting cautiously, maybe, especially because it's past expansion stuff, maybe there should be a 50% crafting profit as default. People, if they want to lower the profit margins on stuff, they can do. Out of the box, you should probably be, you know, seeing a 50% profit. Or 50% margin, to use the correct terminology, actually, but... $135 gold profit on crit food here. Don't expect it to last, though. Been making over 100 gold profit on agility potions all week. Must be exceptionally lucky. We live in a situation though where I would at least hope at this point most of you guys understand the concept of, you know, buying your materials cheap, and that your material costs are likely to be considerably lower than your competition's. So hence why you can squeeze out these really nice profit margins on stuff. I'm thinking more about General Joe that just does this somewhat passively. That they may want to, you know, they've been told that TSM is a good thing to use for goal making. They download their favourite content creators groups and operations and they press the go button and see what happens. I think for the masses and for a default one, setting a much higher profit margin will, for starters, will prevent people crafting stuff that's overly expensive to craft in the first place. And even if they do craft it, they'll craft one by default. It's not optimal, but it's a good starting point. That's kind of what I'm going for here. It's just a straight up good starting point. So for reference, if we apply this instead to the groups, remember what we had previously, where if we'll use the Northrend one as an example again. Dual crafting, Northrend. TSM out the box is going to tell you to spend 713,000 gold crafting 20 of everything. I wonder how many times I could go to the auction house and search for one of these items and see like a single person posting like 5 to 10 of them at a time. In fact, people will be posting 5 at a time. That also doesn't make any sense, right? Because the default posting operation is only 5. So it's by default, Trade Skill Master actually tells you to craft 4 times more items than you need. That also doesn't make any sense. Why would you tell somebody to craft 20 items if you're then only going to tell them to post 5 of them on the auction house? I'm talking about from a default perspective. I fully understand that when you get into it, that is what you probably should be doing. You should be crafting in lesser times during the week. You should maybe cut your crafting down to like once a week, but craft enough stuff to, you know, have stock for the rest of the week. But we're talking about default, never use TSM, new to goal making, straight out of the box. TSM tells you to craft 20, but is then only going to tell you to put 5 of them on the auction house. Okay. So, this is default. Let's look at the comparison between default and what our new first attempt at a crafting operation would be. So, if we then switch that out to, where was it? What did we do? Dual crafting. Switch that out to, where's crafting? Switch it out to default 1. Then we do a restock and we do a comparison. Now it's still telling us to craft 50 gems. It's telling you to only spend 24,000 gold and giving you the indication that there might be 117,000 gold profit out the back end of it. I'm still overly concerned though that it's going to be telling you to craft a bunch of shit that's just highly inflated in value, which is not wise for anybody to really do, because 20k is still just, you know, 90% of this I think should be filtered out in some fashion, maybe filtered out based on sell rate or something, because I bet some of this stuff just doesn't even have sell rates against it. How can we do that from a crafting perspective? Use if greater than or equal to a certain sell rate to make sure that the sell rate is above 0.01. Yeah. So let's duplicate that. Let's look at what we can do from, you know, a second attempt. So it's at this point we'd have to say, right, that's still a good mid ground, a safe sort of starting point, but we're going to want to make sure that something at least sells somewhat reasonably. So if greater than or equal to, and let's do, we should probably go by, let me think about this real quick. I'm just trying to see if even half of this stuff even has sale rates. I mean, if there is no sale rate data, I mean, it's pretty safe to say ignore the fucking thing. So we're probably going to want to have... what is it? DB region sale rate? Or is it just sale rate? Hang on, let me complete the thing. No, it's not DB rate. What's the... Is it just sale rate? If greater than or equal... it's just sale rate. So if the sale rate is greater than or equal to 0.02, then you do a 50% crafting. If it's 0.01 or doesn't even have a sale rate, it'll just be flat out ignored, which is probably a good starting point. Set the restock to 1 if the sale rate is above 0.01, else set it to 0. Do we want to do it in the restock quantity, or do we want to do it based in the profit one? Use the function in the yeah, I know, I can put them up here if I wanted to. But I'm thinking that what we would probably actually rather do in the restock quantity is use the DB region sold per day. So you'd have a minimum restock, and your maximum restock would be something such as DB region sold per day. No, hang on. DB region sold per day multiplied by like... No, you just do that, wouldn't you? So that would cover, that would basically say that if the DB region sold per day is less than 1, then you'll craft 1. But if the DB region sold per day, so say for example, if there is a past expansion thing, maybe like a potion or something that sells multiple of them per day, you will then restock more of them. But then there's also the criteria that the sale rate on that item is got to be greater than 0.02, and it's got to have more than 50% profit on them before it would consider it. So this is taking into consideration both how frequently they sell and also how many of them sell when trying to calculate what you'll repost, what you'll craft in the first place. It has more sense to be in the restock field. Does it? I don't think it matters. I can't think of any distinct reason why it makes much difference either there or not. You have the min profit operation cleaner this way. Yeah, the mid profit one's cleaner, but you're then just massively complicating the restock one. So it's a 50-50. So I think that's relatively sensible. That's a default catch-all. It means you will and you can tweak this number here, and you can tweak this number here. Now, obviously, it means that you need to understand what this actually means in the first place, which is a little bit above basic entry level. Let me try that then as a... So now it's saying that with this one, with just a simple 50% crafting profit, it's turning around and saying, right, this is our restock list. 24,000 gold with a whole bunch of profit. We're still making 53 items, and this is just from North Rend jewel crafting. If we then reconfigure this again, but we put our third iteration of where has it gone? North Rend. Oh, we did it for jewel crafting, sure, fine. We then put our third iteration of our crafting operation. Third iteration of the crafting operation. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Now do the same. Jewel crafting, North Rend. Hey! Why is materials in there? Stuff. Right, whatever. Boom! That seems a lot more sensible. Instantly I feel that that's a lot more sensible. It's still questionable on whether you should be crafting some of this stuff, but it's for sure not telling you to craft 20. And these are things that have a track record of at least selling. RIP 30 million gold? Yeah. Well, it's not RIP 30 million gold. It's GG, I've just saved you 700,000 gold. Is the way I look at it. Because now if we explore these options, what have we got? Things like a nightmare tier. I wish the tooltips were better from the crafting queue. That's definitely one bit of feedback I'm going to give the TSM team regarding, because they're actually redoing this for 4.12. For the next big version of TSM, they're redoing this crafting list and the gathering and stuff. Or not redoing, but, you know, updating, improving. So there's lots of these Eyes of Zul for some reason. Maybe the Eyes of Zul are frequently used on, I don't know, they get thrown onto heirlooms, or there's some twink something or other. I'm not the one to question why these have a sell rate, but they seem to sell sometime for some reason. Some of these Eyes of Zul seem to have sell rates on them, and I can't really work out why. I mean, 90% of them don't even have a sale. 0.03 regional sale rate on a Radiant Eye of Zul. I don't know why 3% of them sell, but there's at least some past history of these still selling, which makes it far more sensible. You can hover over the small icon in the crafting queue to see the more information. Can you? Oh, so you can. Haha. Well, haha, okay, cool. Literally never knew that. Thank you. You learn something new every day. So why is the Misty Eye of Zul being listed then? Because this doesn't appear to have a sale rate on it. Oh! It's because my sale rate on it is good. I have a personal 0.08 sale rate on it. Not just the regional. Yeah, okay. So that's why. That's because I've got a past history. That makes more sense. I've actually got a past history of selling these things. Yeah. Now that starts to make more sense. So if I've sold something, it's going to definitely take that into consideration. Told you that before, but you didn't see it. Yeah, people probably have. I do my best to read most messages, but I read things and I don't always process them. Oh, well, that's cool, though. That's so, yeah, now I'm actually doubly happy with how that works. So it means that if you do craft something totally random and totally bonkers... okay. Shadowmite Ring, for example. I somehow managed to have sold one of these for 300 gold in the past, so hence it's telling me to craft it again. That's fair. If you've got a past history of selling something, although it might have been just a fluke in the first place, you should use DB region sale rate instead of sale rate, which defaults to your accounting one. I think I disagree. Because if you actually have a history of selling something, then there's no reason you shouldn't recraft it and sell it again. Like I said, there is obviously the opportunity that you just sold something as a bit of a fluke. But, you know, if you sell something, there's no reason to not try and sell it again. That's the nature of crafted, like, at its core. Delicate Cardinal Ruby. 0.07 regional sale rate. 10 gold to craft the thing. Mad profit on it, so hence it queued it. But it's got a regional daily average sold of only 0.07, and so hence it only queued one of them. Depends on how old your accounting data is, though. I used to have accounting data from BFA. Some items were selling good then, but now they wouldn't sell any more. That's true. That's very true. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's actually so true that I think I agree with you in total. But on the flip side of that, we're genuinely talking about, for the most part at least, new people coming to Trade School Master. I'm always trying to look at things from the perspective of somebody that's freshly installing TSM. Those guys don't have 3 years of accounting data. If you have 3 years of accounting data, you're probably not going to use anything that's default with Trade School Master in the first place. If they're new, they'll have 0 sale rate. Yeah, of which then it means it will revert to the region sale rate. Can't find the sale rate string on the TSM documentation to see what it actually does, though. No, I don't know either. And I'm going to be honest, I don't like the new... I don't like the new... TSM support website. I don't think it's any, like, the fact that you, like, yeah, the fact that it's now just a search box, I don't like. What functions can I use and what do they mean? It's not actually a function though, is it? It's a price source. It's a value source technically. Sale rate. From TSM accounting, number of expires will return an integer for the number of times an item has expired or been cancelled from the auction house. Sale rate will return a decimal number that shows your personal sale rate of an item, i.e. sale rate of 0.04 indicates an item has sold for you 40% of the time that you have posted it. So actually sale rate doesn't revert back to the regional DB region sale rate. Do we then do we go with just sale rate here? Or we could go like such. I mean, it massively complicates the string, but... Is it DB region sale rate? Yeah. So, if you have sales data on it, then use your sales data on it. If you don't have sales rate info, it'll use the region one. Catch all, right? That'd do the job. Try a restock now. We should have saved that as number 3, but yeah, you're right. So clear that one, and then go Tsm Groups, North End, restock. It's the same 9. It's the same 9, but the point still stands. I kind of think that the sale rate reverts to the region DB region sale rate if you don't have any, but I can't find clarification of that. I tell you what I can do though, is I can ask. Due to the fact that I have a convenient direct line to the devs. If using sale rate in a crafting operation, and I do not have any personal sales info, does it revert to, how is revert even a word? How the okay, revert to DB region sale rate. Or would I need to use something like first sale rate, DB region sale rate? Where's my yeah. Quick question, if using sale rate in a crafting operation and I do not have any personal sales info, does it revert to DB region sale rate, or would I need to use something like first sale rate, DB region sale rate? I hope they understand that. The devs will say it works as specified in the documentation. To most people they probably would, but I think to me they might give me a more detailed answer. Let's see if I get a response. Sapu's in bed, Gumdrops is probably at work. Alright, well we'll find out eventually. Until I find out, though, I'll just assume that I need to use something like this. So this will take into consideration your personal sales info on any given item. Secondly, backed up by the regional sale rate information, if not. 0.02 is the cutoff point. We don't want to be dealing with 0.01s because for those that are unaware, the sale rate is basically a percentage of how frequently is something going to sell when you post it. If it's 0.01, it means 1% or less, that's the key bit, it's 1% or less of all auctions of that item that are listed go on to then sell. And the crucial bit there is or less. The smallest number that Tsm Master deals with is 1%. So if something sells less than 1% of the time, we have no idea how less than 1% we're dealing with. It could be it sells every 101st time, or only 1 out of every 1,000 or 10,000 listings actually ever go and sell. At least if it's 0.02, we know that that it's definitely above that absolute minimum. I'd go with the 0.05 at least, to be honest. If it depends on scale, right? Which for a beginner friendly sort of setup, I think I might also slightly agree with. But for example, ignoring 0.01 will basically cut out a lot of the overinflated trash transmog in the first place. But I've had this concern for a long time with Trade School Master that the reason that the sale rate is so bad is because the listing price is so inflated that if people were to actually proactively drop their listing price, it would be more attractive to more people more often. If only to flippers trying to make a profit by flipping. But a sale is a sale, whoever you sell it to. Now, I know for the purpose of this, jewel crafting was a really odd choice, but it just happens to be one that I have a lot of recipes for already, and 15 years of experience using. And filtering out 90% of the guff, the just trash, is really of high importance to me. I don't think reasonable flippers would buy crafted transmog. Yeah, but we're not always dealing with reasonable people. That's the advantage. Look, I still sell rank 4, 5, and 6 all to the same character at the same time. You know, we're not always dealing with reasonable people at the other end. Yeah, I get your point. For reference, if we were to throw this new one on leatherworking, let's clear that. Let's put it on leatherworking just to see how it works. I also want to clarify that this is only for past expansion stuff. Past expansion stuff, I tend to consider it all as one. That you have current content crafts and you have past expansion crafts. Past expansion crafts are you're dealing to a totally different category of people. You're dealing with people are no longer buying it because it's gear that is useful. They're buying it because it's gear that is going to be equipped for the transmog and then instantly vendored. You're selling old potions to random twinks that are doing stupid things. You're selling, I don't know. There's many different reasons why you sell the old stuff to people more so than current content. So if we do crafting, the newest most up-to-date version of leatherworking. What does it say? Oh, I did a full restock. See, that's better. That instantly is better, and I can already tell by looking at the list there that it is way more sensible stuff to be crafting. Exponentially more sensible. Some of it is guff still. There's still some trash, but styling hats, good sellers. Warbear woolies, good sellers. The pets always will sell. You've got the pack of endless pockets for scribes out there. These are things that, yes, you can see straight away. The sale rate on these is good enough that you would probably actually want to do something with it. 0.05 regional sale rate. You don't sell many, but you will sell the odd one or two because it's a 32 slot inscription bag. It's not telling you to craft too much stuff that's ridiculous. I want to know what is the outrageously profitable thing here. Okay, there's a heavy armor kit that is bonkers level inflated in price somehow. We would need to rein that in just a touch. If we were to get rid of that one heavy armor kit, then it comes back down to something a little bit more sensible. It's cutting out all of the 0.01 stuff that if you craft it, firstly, it's going to be expensive to craft. Secondly, you're probably never going to sell it. You're only crafting 40 items rather than hundreds of items. And it's stuff that has a historical, statistical, better likelihood of selling. I like that. I like that a lot. That makes a lot more sense. It starts to make a lot more sense. Leather Love Seat. It's a toy. If it's a toy, it's eventually going to sell. People love collecting shit. 1,000 gold to make the thing. It's going to sell. 5% of the listings end up selling. You might have to list it for, you know, every day for a month or so, but it will sell, and when it does sell, you're 4,000 gold richer than you were before you did it. And then there's some lower level stuff here. Still stuff that's a little bit questionable, but you are always going to get slightly questionable things. Mist Hide Boots, for example, is a little bit questionable based on the regional sale rate, but as you can see here, it's reverted to my sale rate. I have a sale rate of 0.08 on these, which is why it's told me to craft them again. Now, in fairness, I did sell them for 50 gold a piece when the crafting cost was 40, but either way, this is a lot more, what's the word? It's a lot more selective. That's not the word I'm looking for. There's a fancy word I'm looking to use and my brain doesn't work. But there's a lot more. This is a much more sensible list for people to get up and running with past tangible. Tangible works. Yeah. Now, just out of curiosity, what does it look like when I do jewel crafting on everything? Okay, it's still a little bit over the top. Ah, now this is now we'll see that why is a versatile lace strike choker in that? Why is... Huh? What? Hang on. Hang on. What's going on here? Why is it queuing up Shadowlands stuff? Shadowlands isn't even selected. This shouldn't have any Shadowlands patterns in it. Hang on. Hang on. What's going on here? Did I just forget to Why is there an items group appeared all of a sudden that's just got random stuff in it? The fuck did this come from? Why is this even a thing? Because this shouldn't be a thing. Why are all the materials here still? And what the... Please don't tell me that TSM's goofed my groups. Don't you be goofing my groups up. Oh my god, it's done it for all of them. Where's this new items group turned up from? I didn't ask it to do that. Okay, it's left these alone. Maybe it's just jewel crafting. Huh. Alright. Oh god damn. Okay, I need to fix this. Why is a prismatic black diamond in the same group as a quick lay stripe band? Didn't you click the button to create new groups in the TSM crafting window? Did I? I mean, that kind of might make sense. I don't think I meant to if I did. It does kind of look like I might have done. Is there any Dumbo... Has it made any Dumbo groups that now don't have anything in again? That would be an indication that I've broken it somehow. It's this items group. I have no idea where this items group turned up from. Okay, the rest of them look okay. It seems to have just been a weird goof in the system somewhere. So this materials group can piss off. This items group can also piss off. What is it missing here? You can't sell brilliant glass, you can't sell icy prisms, and everything else is Shadowlands. Okay, just delete it. See you later, get out of here. Right, let's try again. What does jewel crafting look like if we tell it to recraft everything from every past expansion ever? Ever. Only 60 items. See, that's better. Some people would look at that and say, well, what's the fucking point? And I would say, well, it's better than crafting a bunch of stuff that's not going to sell. That's a lot more sensible, a lot more tangible. Hey, there we go. It is a lot more tangible, a list of things that should potentially be crafted. Nice, easy, don't cost a lot, 10k. You're gonna, you know, you'll make a nice profit on that. You don't want to be, you know, crafting or posting a million bajillion things. But an Adept Ember Topaz, for some reason, I couldn't particularly tell you why somebody would want to buy one of these, but there is regional sale history to indicate that they do sell occasionally. At an 88 gold crafting cost, you're likely going to turn that round for a nice sizable profit, assuming you get your Ember Topaz at market price. Kraken's eyes. Ah, now, haha. Okay, Kraken's eyes have turned up. We know why Kraken's eyes turned up, right? Because there was a bit of a spike in demand for Kraken's eyes not so long ago because of a bit of an exploit. It wasn't really an exploit, but just a bit of a mess up with how gem sockets were being used a while ago. But either way, they were still selling. Lots, like, a straddling Sage Agate. 5% movement speed buff. There we go. There's a good reason there why that'll sell then. Because Who doesn't want movement? This is going to be bought by all of those druids making speed sets. Maybe not so much anymore, but considering we can fly, but still true to say. Notice that Restock still has some weird bugs lingering. Sometimes it thinks I cannot craft a specific item even though I can, and therefore doesn't add it to the crafting queue. Yeah, I mean, TSM is definitely not perfect. They do a pretty good job of swatting the bugs for the most part, but it's it's arguably one of, if not the most complicated add-ons I would imagine behind the scenes. So it doesn't surprise me too much that a few things slip through. But no, generally speaking, then I'm way more content that if I was to give this profile out to people and they were to just, you know, do the same, you know, level up their professions. Maybe they've got characters that they have played for 10 years and have all of these professions already leveled. That if they were to click go and craft a bunch of stuff without giving it too much thought, that the list of items that it tells you to craft is a lot more sensible than what TSM does by default out the box. So that's only half the problem though, right? That's only half the problem. We've got the second half of the problem, which is when we have crafted all of this stuff, how do we then construct a default auctioning operation to go out and sell it all? Now the auctioning side of things should be a little bit easier to do, you would hope, but I might leave that for either later today or tomorrow. I think I need to go get me some food. We completely ignored the auction house on a Wednesday. I feel really bad now. I got distracted with TSM stuff. But I hope that was interesting for some people, and I hope some people picked up a few tips. It was definitely helpful for me. It's something I've been needed to do for a while, so... Oh, there we go. Gumdrops himself. You're going to need to use the first thing. Cool. Clarification. There we go. That's what we love. Love me some clarification. Excellent. So, we now know that we are if we want to use it then means if you want to reference your own personal sales data and also the region's overall sales data, that you need to you know, specify as such. One doesn't revert to the other, even though it would be kind of nice to do, kind of like smart average buy price. I think it would be nice if smart average buy price, if because you could combine smart average buy price and average buy price in a fashion that if you've bought something and you still have stock of it, then it uses the smart average buy price. If you don't have any currently though, you could still revert to your average buy price. But then again, I guess there's situations where people do specifically want to use one or the other, so maybe it is more sensible to split them up still. Cool. Progress was made today. Progress was made. Albeit, you know, baby steps in the right direction though. I think that's a good thing. But then, boys and girls, I'll leave it there for today. Thank you once again for joining. I said we were going to do some auction house PvP and maybe sell some stuff, but I bet if I look, yeah, both of my auction accounts are actually logged off right now. So I apologise once again, we got distracted by some spectral squirrels. But we dived into a little bit of detail on how we can handle, or at least the first part of how we can handle using the past expansion professions to our advantage in a safe and, you know, safe way, I suppose, without, you know, overly blowing your gold on something that you're never then going to be able to sell and end up, you know, just vendoring eventually. But boys and girls, we'll be back tomorrow. What day is it tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday. We might end up, we'll see how things go. Tomorrow might end up being a PTR day. We might take a little bit of a look on the PTR. It depends, obviously, entirely if there's an update to the PTR or not. Last week we were on the PTR and there wasn't really much going. All of the big key changes, things like the AoE cap changing, things like the scrapping of legendaries, all of this sort of stuff, what wasn't implemented on the PTR yet. So as and when that turns up, we can take a little bit of a look. But boys and girls, enjoy the rest of your day. Happy gold making. Today is of course the day to be making some gold. So put an hour or so's effort into Auction House PvP at a minimum. And you'll probably have some good results off the back of it. But I'll catch you all tomorrow. Peace.